All right, let's make some flour tortillas. First thing is we're gonna need some water, some warm water, some 236 grams of some really hot water. $240, close enough. All right, I just need to check my recipes real quick. Yep, okay, yeah, 400 grams of flour. I like baking and cooking, making flour tortillas and bread often, so I buy my bag of like 25 pounds from Costco for like 12 bucks. Just because I like making stuff often with it. And then having this, you know, storage right here, some food safe storage. Pretty good. Throw some bay leaves in there. Keep things fresh. You won't have those little, like what, moth bugs or little bugs that grow in flour. So, but I use mine pretty quickly, so I never have that issue. And it's just so easy to just access instead of pouring it out of a bag, in my opinion. Wow, my dexterity hand skills aren't that good. No wonder I have a KitchenAid stand mixer. Okay, so the way I put in the, you know, the ingredients, it's very specific. I do, well, it's not very specific, but this is what I found works best for me. So we are gonna need 5 grams of salt. But I usually do water first. Hot water on the bottom. Makes it a lot easier. Went a little bit over on the salt. Should have been 5 grams, but I put 7. But I do water, flour, salt, and oil. Why I do it that way? You've heard water and oil don't mix. So it just tends out to come out nicer this way. I notice if I put oil with the water, there's like little clumps of oil in my flour tortillas, and this way it just kind of spreads out a little bit easier. I mean, you could whisk the salt in there if you'd like, but I don't find it necessary. So let's get that placed on there. Use a dough hook. Put it on speed number 2. Give it a few minutes, and then like using like a spatula to, you know, get the edges once it starts moving. Let me turn this off and move it a little closer so you guys can see the action. Number 2. So yeah, I'm just getting the edges off. Just one thing when you're doing this, be careful, because you know it's a strong motor, and if your tool is too big, it can just kind of pull you in. So be careful, don't hurt yourself. If you have to, turn it off, scrape the sides. Don't be lazy like me. Probably use a little bit more water, but it'll be fine. Good thing about stand mixers, this thing gets done in like maybe 2 minutes. I'm not even counting the time, but it's coming together nice. How you know it's ready? Most of the flour is gone, or it's been incorporated. And yeah, that looks good to go to me. Alright, that is step number 1. Gotta wash those dishes. And what I'll do next is separate that dough into some separate balls, about 6 of them. Like setting up parchment paper to do this. So grab this, roll it into a nice ball. And you want to make sure you let your dough rest for a little bit before you actually roll them out and do anything with that, right? Put this there so it can start to... You could weigh them out, or you can just eyeball them. With this ingredient recipe, I've heard you can make 8, but I prefer making 6 because I like making some pretty decent sized burritos. Eyeball them, then feel them out. Feel some have a little smaller than the others. Perfect. Yeah, I like them big old burritos. Gonna make some chicharrón con chile in a little bit. That's just fried pork skins with, you know, chili on it, some salsa. And what you want to do with those is you don't want them to dry out, right? So you could cover it with a damp towel, or, you know, just pop them in here. Some saran wrap. I like doing it this way because I don't roll out all my tortillas on the same day. I usually leave some in the fridge and have some the next day, like unprepared, and then just pull them out, let them come to room temp after 20 to 30 minutes, then roll them out, cook them the same way, and I got fresh flour tortillas for the next, you know, day, because they usually don't last more than a day. These things are addicting. But yeah, it's very important to let them rest for a bit. You can't just start rolling them out. What will happen is that you stretch them out and then they'll start to shrink back. You don't want that. You don't want like a thick, doughy tortilla. Well, maybe you might, but at least I don't. I like them thin, Sonora style, where you can see the window pane, see right through them. So here we go. We got these ready. And yeah, that's the first step. All right, let's work on making these flour tortillas now. Like I said, I'm probably gonna make like 3. My wife doesn't usually has 1. I usually have 2 at a time. I like working with parchment paper because it just doesn't stick. But I mean, use a granite countertop, clean top, like you'll be fine regardless. Just flour your surface, but just like doing it this way. Got my rolling pin and just need my flour. Then I should turn on the grill already, so because it does need to be pretty hot. Well, that's more than enough. That's plenty. Okay. There you go. All right, so you've let them rest for a while. Pull them out of this saran wrap, cling wrap, however you want to call it. Get it kind of into a ball shape. You can dip it in here, put it directly into your flour, however you want. What I like doing is kind of putting it into like a little cookie size shape. Make sure you flour your rolling pin. Be very generous. You just roll up and roll down. That's all you do. And you turn it 90 degrees. You roll up and down. Here you can go down and up. But typically this is the method that works for me, of making sure I get it nice and round. And you see how like it's getting elongated on one section over the other one? What I do is I hold it from the other side that I want to make it longer, and that'll help kind of just stretch it out. So you see again, this is the side that needs to be a little longer. I'll pick it up from this side and I'll turn it. And that way that side ends up being stretched out a little bit more. See, starting to get a little bit more see-through. And I'm gonna have to let that heat up for quite a bit, because otherwise it's just not gonna cook as good, you know. Typically the first flour tortillas that I make don't come out the best. Oh, there's some tears. That's okay, you can just kind of pinch that together and you'll be good. Sometimes you can let it just rest like this for a little bit. All right, it's getting nice and hot now. Okay, let's stretch it out one more time. Turn it. And don't worry about how your tortillas look. As long as they taste good, that's all that matters. Oh, it is hot enough. It's not sticking. The next one is gonna cook a lot faster, so I'm gonna cook a few more. Meanwhile, you see the process. I like just dipping the ball in here. But I also like flouring this area. Down, up, turn. Down, up, turn. Down, up, and turn. And then I can tell that it's heating up nicely because it's bubbling up. It's a little high now. I think it's come up to temp. Down, up, and turn. I'll let it bubble up a little bit more and then I'll remove it from the griddle. Down, up, and turn. See how I just kind of let it hang right there for a little bit? That way I can try to get it more circular. Stretch out that side. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. That's what you want to see. Careful, because it is really hot. There you go. You got your flour tortillas. Not too hard, right? It really just takes practice. So don't get discouraged if you mess up a few times. Totally normal. I recommend just watching the video step by step and just following it. Again, don't skip that resting part because that will really throw you off. Check it out.